fixing some minor little bugs from the last session. So yeah, fixing some bugs. There was some confusion over looters, and I just hadn't done that properly. Basically, short version is hadn't done it properly. And then sorted bugs where enemies were getting benefit of knockback artifacts, and it turned out to be really simple. I just forgot to check if the character proccing was on the same team as the player. And yeah, max mana was off, just fixed that. So that was the bugs, and then we've got this list. Some visuals to do, ultimate effects, visuals for the ultimate effects, catch up on sound effects for all the new weapons and whatnot. Yeah, a bit of a design point here. I need to make a new character, or 2 new characters to replace these boring ones. And yeah, we're going to do quite a few changes to what we have. Like mirror shield. So there's a shield that you can get. It's the upgraded shield for the humans, which is a mirror and actually reflects attacks. And I'm thinking it wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. I thought it would kind of feel, so it's actually a mirror blade, and it like deflects things, and I thought that would be quite cool, maybe feel like a bit of a Jedi, but it doesn't really. Like this game's all about like mass chaos, so I think it's just some kind of big bonky weapon would be more fun. And yeah, we may even change the spells. So at the moment, the humans, the orcs, and the demons have a fire spell. And it's just fireball for all of them. But we could change that up a little bit. We could make it that one of them has more of like a flame strike effect. And yeah, we've got to draw the stages. And so we've got a fair bit of drawing to do. And I need to get ready for Bullet Fest, which is on the 8th of June. So right around the corner. And yeah, need to at least have some things ready. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to play. Because as far as we know, we're bug free. I do expect to find bugs, but there are none that we know of. So we'll see if we can find some more. And I think it's always nice to just start off a session with a little playthrough when possible. And yeah, still expect to see some issues with artifacts and whatnot, especially balancing for the artifacts, things like that. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be some bugs. I expect to see some bugs and perhaps some performance issues. We'll see. We'll see how it feels, see how it goes. But otherwise, assuming everything's fine, or even if it isn't, what I want to do today is redraw the talents. They don't look terrible, the talents as they are, but they end up, yeah, I mean, we can go up a step in resolution, so they should have the same resolution as like a character or a weapon, so much bigger than it is, but fitting into a square like the weapons, and just making full use of all the pixels I have there to make some nice looking talents, which should, make the game look a bit nicer. We're not up to updating the UI just yet. I need to sit down and have a proper think about that. This week, I am... I'm free. So I had my driving lesson this morning. I'm free this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, I have an interview with a company that I'd like to work for. And otherwise mowing the lawn. And then Friday, I have another... So yeah, this should be a good week. And then Friday, I have another driving lesson. And it's half term. But then after that, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of childcare again. That's while my wife does some exam invigilation work. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, random. It feels a bit crap to do random and get Sean again. But okay. Just, should we trust the random or hit it again? Let's hit it again, I guess. Are we actually live on this one? Just checking on my phone because yeah, we are live. Good. All right. Okay, yeah, I guess Sean versus the demons on the ramparts. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how the demons feel as an enemy. I kind of know that the orcs work, like it's sort of balanced. Random buff on ally death. Random buff on heal. This one commits us to like a healing build. I think overhealing should exist, right? I think overhealing is fun. Yeah, like that ends up being like a crucial artifact. I'm not sure we need that. So which one should we pick? Let's go with Holy Buff. And we will pick healers. So it's a good one to pick at the beginning. Vengeful's great anyway, especially for Sean, because his ultimate is summoning units, so more units equals more Vengeful procs. And yeah, this that's a big one to fix. I guess that's on the sound effects list. Just the for some reason when they spawn, they're making oh no, something's gone horribly wrong. Okay. So straight away, it didn't get very far before a massive bug. So I'll just do a play within Unity, which usually means that performance suffers quite a bit. But at least we can see where the bugs are a lot easier. Yeah, same circumstance. So what was the issue there? I'm sure it will happen again. Not even going to try and think. Okay, critical buff, looter buff. Special item. Let's go critical buff. And again, make sure that it's happening. Oh, I need to change something that I forgot. I'll just not pick those, but the character container, knockback artifacts. Yeah, I just need to change this back to that. Okay, good. I'm not going to compile that. I should just avoid picking knockback artifacts because, of course, if the chance is 100%, they'll be way off balance. See, I don't know why there's a death sound effect playing when characters spawn. It's either because like it's still left over from when they were dying, and then like the object turns off, but then it turns back on because it thinks the thing is still playing. But that shouldn't be the case. Or I've like, for whatever reason, I've got the death sound effect attached to the spawn sound effect. So we are crits, so rogue is good. And it seems that death effect is happening more often. I did do a thing to it where I said, okay, stop the sound effect. But I guess, yeah, I guess that didn't work. And now I feel like I'm hearing it more. So that's weird. I guess Ranger is a good pick. Okay, which one would be more crits? I guess this one. Do we need healing? Heal is never really a bad choice. I mean, healing is always OP. It's just a matter of like trading damage for survivability. Yeah, let's get AoE. I like the idea of like not having to have. It's not like a healer is compulsory. But you know, I can overthink this kind of game because I think really like it doesn't make much difference. Okay, yeah, let's have an actual healer. Although if we've got critical buff, that puts us into a buff build already, meaning if we got an artifact that triggered on buff, then we would be super powerful. So let's get the buff. And the rogue and ranger should combine to make space for more units, so we're not fully committed, which is good. Yep. Yeah, and I'm just getting really annoyed by that death sound, but yeah, that's on the list. And now that we've like gotten so many of these big things out of the way, like this is one of the first times still that I've even played against the demon faction. And we have a debug log that is unnecessary. So, because we've already fixed that. Delivering knockback and is the knocker. We can get rid of those. Yeah, rogue. Yeah, so far so good. Everything's, except for the things I mentioned, everything's running well. Yeah, let's get some crit on me. Yeah. Crit rate for sure. And I have tested critical buff. It does feel a bit sad that like I've got it and I'm just not seeing it happen. It just means that it might be a bit undertuned. Like obviously all things need to be balanced, but I need to feel it. I need to be like, yeah, I got this talent, I got this artifact. I need to see it happen. And yeah, maybe we just tune it up a bit. So it's more about cooking with feeling rather than just kind of looking at the pure numbers and going, that's correct, that's balanced. It's like, getting a feeling of like, is this the right rate? Is this the right ratio? Because I haven't seen anyone get a buff from their crit yet. And I haven't got one myself. So it just doesn't feel great. So maybe the chance can be a bit higher. Oh, someone just did. Someone just did. But then, yeah, let's let the game play out and then we'll see if it needs a bit more. So at the moment it's 5%. So maybe it could just be a bit higher. But yeah, if we've got rogues and I've got a dagger and we've got the critical hit talent, we should probably expect to see a bit more. Yeah, we should expect to see a bit more of that artifact proccing. Yeah, so apparently that happened, but I didn't see a buff appear. Oh yeah, there we go, there we go. Yeah, we all just got that one from me having done a crit. So it is there. Yeah, so I just got it there, but didn't really feel it, I guess, because it was a banner buff. Crossbow's a good one for crits. Let's get that instead. Like, it's generally good. Oh, okay, wait, I thought I solved this. It looked like that guy just spawned with half HP. So we go... spawn enemy or spawn... And I thought I fixed this. So on enemy spawner, and then we do on spawn, and then after that character container.hp should go to max HP. So why wouldn't it do that? So we can have a look at this guy. And I don't know why that bug didn't happen. The one with the same bug that stopped me from doing the okay, so it is the okay, that makes sense, right? So character container. So he did actually have the HP. Update HP? No. Where's the one where we do HP bar equal dot. Where do we do HP bar value equals HP? Okay. Yes, we want all of this actually. And since that's happening on spawn, we shouldn't need it here. But it shouldn't be here, it should be on spawn. So we go on spawn and we can put it here. And there's no reason it wouldn't be here. And then we get, and then we don't need it here. So hopefully that'll fix that. But at least mechanically it's fine. So even if their HP bars don't look full, they are. So yeah, lots of little bugs like that at the moment, just from the changes I've been making. I think friendly, did I change that? So friendly, I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, let's re-roll this. Okay, what would be a good pick to maximize? I guess what we want is some healing, but and then the healer could combine with the bannerman, and then we could get another rogue potentially. That'll take a while. Or do I just get the bow? Let's get the spear. And let's get, because the thing is, I can lock myself into a corner. If I get the rogue now, that's our last unit. Whereas I want a unit that can combine with one of these. So I think I will pick the crossbow. Yeah. I mean, not overthinking it. Don't know if that was the best pick, but okay, yeah. So critical buff is working. Okay, buff reset. Ha! Here we go. So chance for allies to reset all weapons when they get buffed. So that's going to be powerful because we're getting a lot of buffs, also from our artifacts, also from our talents and our artifacts. We're getting buffs. Okay, so we want something that's going to combo. We need something to eat the soldier. I guess we should have picked a healer when we could have. So yeah, I will pick a healer when we can next, but otherwise I will just upgrade the soldier. And yeah, and so you see people, because people are getting buffed fairly frequently, they're getting reset, their attacks reset fairly frequently. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy with where these artifacts are in terms of balance. Like, it takes a little while to get going, but yeah, okay, so again, I don't want to pick rogue. I do want to pick something, so crit and AoE combine. And we don't have much we have a bit of ranged. It's damage and range, and so it's range of everyone and projectile damage. Yeah, let's get that. He's looking great. Okay, and yeah, let's get that healer. Okay, great. I'm giving my army buffs and they're getting attack resets as a result, which is great. This is all working. And yeah, this is all running beautifully. Lovely. Okay, good to see. Let's do more buffs. Get that going as soon as possible. And we can summon some dudes. And yeah, we're critting a lot, which makes sense because we have fully upgraded crit talent. And okay, I want to make sure that this guy shouldn't drop loot. Good, that works. And yeah, we're pretty buffed up. Nice. Let's get all that mana over here. You should stay with our... It's always choosing between staying with your army and getting that mana. Okay, big dude. Yeah, this is always fun. I feel like I'm, you know, tackling the big one while my army deals with the small ones. It's always fun. And let's just go ahead and do this. But yeah, for the most part, except for the things I've mentioned, everything's fine. That sound effect is horrible. Yeah. Looking good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Nice. Oh, lovely magnet over there. Okay, Bard or Paladin. So Bard is a good buffer and a healer. Paladin though would just kind of eat the soldier for me, which would be nice. Otherwise, my option would have to be something that eats the soldier to make another space. So yeah, let's do Paladin to be our healing force, and then we can like pick. Then I would want to pick another healer, I think, or is that too much healing? Or we pick the... yeah, let's get the Berserker, who'll then combine with the Bannerman, and then in the last slot we can put Rogue. That's if we get that far, that's if we level up that much, but it's always good to plan ahead a bit. And yeah, army's at full health. Healers are doing their work. Something can happen where you get the Paladin. Okay, nice, very nice. You get the Paladin, and because your healing is suddenly so much lower, it can be a bit of a healing whiplash feeling. Okay, let's do Berserker. I'd like that chest, please. Some people are annoyed by the fact that you can't move through your army, but I think it's a feature, not a bug. You kind of have to plan around it. Wait for the guys to move and then go in for the chest. Lovely magnet over there. Okay. Okay, oh, space magic would be fun. That's always fun. Yeah, let's get space magic, and then we want to try and get crit again. Yeah, just that bloody annoying death sound. I think I've just I'm just pointing to the wrong sound somewhere. I think that's why that's happening. Okay, yeah, let's try and get crit in that last slot. Or something that can eat one of our other... Something that can combo with one of our other things. Okay, summon as soon as we can. Oh no, what's wrong? Okay, so something's happened here. So we've tried to spawn a unit. Who did we just upgrade? Would have been the Berserker. So something's gone wrong on spawn ally. Yeah, something's gone wrong on spawn ally. So he's just tried to spawn an ally. And so it was on the ultimate. Okay. So we've got my ally spawners. They're each, yeah, I mean, we don't really get much information here. But, how to do this? Like I can just unpause and it should be fine, but yeah, what I should expect to see is it happening again. Yeah. So one of these allies is not spawning correctly, and I only just upgraded the Berserker 4, so something's gone wrong there. Okay. Spelling is correct. Is it Berserker 4? I think it must be Berserker 4. That's the last. The last one is always on the right. I don't think it's Paladin. Paladins are spawning fine. Berserker 4 apparently has an issue. It's not the engineer, I don't think. Okay, issue with Berserker 4, and then let's look at the upgrade. Let me see, Berserker. So what is the issue there? Oh, so apparently we have a few Berserker 4s in the scene. Yeah, that's Berserker 4. So what's the issue? Berserker 3, Berserker 1, Paladin. I don't know what the issue is. So this one. Character.names. So I'm not sure, so I don't know which one it's happening on. It's not like a specific unit. And it's a null reference exception at this point. So it's like it doesn't know who the character is. That's going to be the issue. And unfortunately we don't have the name of the character here, which is a bit sad, but so yeah, I don't know what's causing that. It's just going to keep happening. And even when we did the bean, like, it wasn't an issue. So we got Paladin, Ranger. Yeah, we got all of our different units. But for some reason, it's not, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. But for some reason, sometimes when we spawn something, it just doesn't, it just doesn't. It's trying to spawn a null character. So one thing I can do is say, let's store, so we make ally spawner. And then let's just say, spawner.gameObject. Or can we say spawner.name? Yeah, spawner.name equals spawner.character.name. And yeah, we'll see. Because it's not like it's happening with a specific unit, so it's like, why is it happening? Like, it should be happening way more often if it's an ongoing issue. Oof. And now the enemy spawner is having difficulty. And which enemy is it having difficulty with? So at this point, is it it's not the looter, is it? Why does vengeful buff look like that? Because no? Okay. Just looking for the sprite here. Vengeful buff. Yeah, that's what vengeful buff should look like. So maybe the problem. There's the problem. Silly, silly, silly mistake. This is why we don't use strings. That's why you should always, I mean, best practice, not always, I guess, but best practice would be to store this somewhere and then say it, rather than just saying it. Say what we stored. Either way, I think this one's a better pick. What now? So this one was collapsed and collapse. So it's not a specific character. I mean, this is totally new. It's not a specific character that it's happening to. It's... And this, again, there's probably some silly mistake to do with strings. And I've really felt that. In my previous games, that just never came up, which is why I never really got that good practice. But in this game, it's coming up. Okay, so the next one should be Rogue, because we've got 3 combos here. Oof. Performance is suffering a little bit, but I'm going to put that... Oh, and here we go again, so... Something to look into. Bit upsetting. Because, you know, I thought things were working. And like, if all characters are appearing sometimes, so it's not down to a specific character, then what is it? It's going to be something more yucky and complicated. So that might be this run done. I could just turn off pause on error, but rather not. And yeah, that sound effect issue is really one I'd like to deal with. Oof. Oof. Okay, let's just turn this off then. So error pause off. And yeah, we've definitely found some stuff this run. God, that bloody sound. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong here. Is it because I've got too many units and they're not dying? So it's like spawn ally, get pulled character. And because there are no available... so there's none of them that are switched off. And that just, luckily or unluckily, hasn't happened to me yet. So let's look at, let's try and confirm that by saying, okay, we haven't maxed out on engineers. Almost maxed out on paladins. We are not quite maxed out on... Wait, shouldn't this be... Yeah, fact container. So I think it could be that. It's like if we're maxed out on a unit, like so, and I can test for that. That would make sense because that's something fairly new that I've done, and I think those paladins were almost full, and it's not happening to a specific character. So what happens is we say if it's not active, and if it's the character's name, then this is the one, and then we turn it on. And then if it's not null, we set it active to true, and then we return this character container. And then we're saying this character container, so we kind of want to say like don't spawn it, so we would do something like and it's going, wait, we don't have a character container. Character container is null. So we would go, is it return? So stop that code from running if and then I'm going to be fairly confident and say that will have fixed the bug, so we don't need to do that. So if new character container is null, then just don't do any of this. And then same with enemy spawner. So where was it? Could we collapse again? Why is it pointing to crossbow effect? Is that enemy spawner clone, and enemy is get pulled character? So yeah, again we just go if enemy is equal to null, then return. That means we haven't found our enemy. Like it's we haven't found one that's inactive that we can use. So yeah, good to find these bugs. I'd rather not have any bugs at all, but if there are bugs, I'm happy to find them. Oof, 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 oof. All that horrible sound effect, like I just don't know why. I'd rather have no sound effects. And yeah, I think due to all of this, performance has just tanked. I don't expect it to get this bad running in a build. But yeah, we have lots of buffers, like buffing with lots of units for them to buff, so that does tend to eat things a bit. Oof. I think I will do the limit the maximum number of buffers thing. So I think with this many blacksmiths, like if you have good survivability, so it would be like, and we can do this quite easily. So when we make, so initialize character containers, we can actually say, okay, where do we get a mount from? Current profile dot max units times 2. Okay, so we can actually go in here. If there's a few ways we could do this, but if new character type, and then this deserves some balancing, but maybe the balancing we've already done is fine. And yeah, why do we do ×2? I think probably ×2 isn't necessary. I think that was me just experimenting, like, can we just have more units? We don't need that many. But let's just, for now, new character type is equal to character type dot buffer, or dot buff melee buffer or range. So if they're a buffer, then do it one way, otherwise do it this way. So So for normal units, they get ×2. Otherwise, it's just maybe divided by 2. Is that clever? I wonder if, like, we just... I mean, I wonder if it even is an issue outside of... No, I think the thing to do... So we're getting 100 of each unit. Maybe we could just do with 50 without it, like this isn't a game about having absurd numbers of units. Sadly, I know that's what people like, but this many might be too many. And yeah, I feel like this won't perform so badly if we were playing it outside of the editor, if we were playing a build. And we could do little ones like if you've... So yeah, you see all these blacksmiths just doing their buff, and we can see it clearly because their anvil gets big for a second. God, that death sound, Jesus, is that like all of the sounds of that now? Wait, that is absurd though. Why are we hearing that so often? That's so crazy. Such a weird bug. Okay, yeah, I don't understand that. Oh, we've actually gotten to the edge of the map. Okay, and it's not even... So the map... Yeah, and obviously, like, I either need to put something there to stop us going further, or I need to, like, make it so that the map, like, goes on forever. Okay, yeah, so, you know, we found a few things in this run. Like I said, I expect to find bugs. But, Jesus, that sound effect, though. Like, why? Why that sound effect? Okay, we haven't got any blocking. Let's re-roll that then. Holy Explosion. Guess we have got healing. But I would like something that like procs on buff or something. I'll spend my beans. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, this run's pretty balked anyway. Fine. It's a lovely magnet, but not when it's running like this. I probably should stop enemies spawning during pause. So yeah, stop routine on spawn, routine on pause. I've got this death SFX happening when unit spawns, like that's on the list. And as for this, I mean, I think the number of units might be okay, but I'm just gonna like just do this for now and just see how the game feels next time. And yeah, we're almost done with this playtest, and then we're gonna get to doing drawing. Yeah, it's always so demoralizing when you play your game and you're like, oh, and you know, I went in like fully like, yeah, there's gonna be some bugs, but it still upsets me to see them. Okay, now that our army's been thinned out a bit, Yeah, that went off without a hitch. Yeah. And yeah, I just wonder if performance will be like this when I try it outside the build. And yeah, that's a big one, is because what we can do is make it so that if you get to a certain point on the X position, then we just move the bits of the ramparts to the right so that we can have an infinite level, or we just put a fence there to stop people from going past it. I guess that's a stages thing. Because, you know, if you've been moving right that much, like, it's fair to say, like, just stop, don't go any further right. To make the stage move, that's not going to be too difficult, but I think it actually would be nice. It's probably better just to have it stop so that we don't get, like, infinitely far. So, yeah, add barriers to edge of ramparts. Bridge, that's part of level stuff, and stop spawn pack routine on pause. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's our bug again. Oof, can't even tell what's going on there. Yeah, and there is an issue again. Like, I'm not sure it would happen if I run it in the build. Jesus. I'm not sure if it will happen when I run it in the build, but like, yeah, when we have too many spawners, that's what can tank the frame rate. That's what can tank performance, because they're just doing these big wide AoE attacks that grab everyone. Whereas maybe we can do something a bit more, find some way to optimize them, or like limit. It wouldn't be that hard to limit the amount of them that appear. And yeah, just fully crowd surfing at this point. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely tanking performance. And I wonder if it is these blacksmiths that are doing it, like any buffer. So maybe there's more I need to do to like limit the amount of buffers we can have at once. Or you could even think of buffers in a completely different way, like have a more kind of like stacking if they're their effect, rather than them constantly doing this big AoE. And yeah, maybe because we're kind of choked a bit, the physics is crunching, so maybe all of this would be improved by me fixing, because I do want to switch to a non-physics method. But yeah, we've gone to slideshow at this point. And I don't think it's just because I'm playing it in Unity. I've got an army with very good survivability. They're not dying. I'm completely maxed out on units. Most people's computers these days would be fine with this. My computer's a bit behind, and then I have to undo the pause problem. Yeah, and like I said, for targeting, have some kind of thing. Like there's more big optimizations we could do for sure. Like, is it really this bad? I don't think it's this bad when I play it in a build. And you know, we are like, this is as bad as it will get. We've got completely maxed out on units, and our army seems to be at a point where it can't really be damaged, just because we heal out any damage and replace, like, our replacement rate is quicker than our loss rate. Could just watch it in slow motion. It's quite fun. It's quite fun watching all the units just kind of clump into each other. Spells popping off. Yes, I have to figure out what's causing this amount of optimization fail. And my computer's quite old and I'm running out of Unity, but I'm sure we can do better than this. Oof. Awful. I'm just feeling like I don't want to have to do the switching to a non-physics method because I'm just scared of like changing the code so fundamentally, and I'm worried that that's going to bring other bugs. In terms of balance, I think we've done fine here. Big chest. Yeah, we are at our limit, if not beyond it. And yeah, we've actually maxed out. We've got space for one more talent, but yeah, we're basically maxed out. 10 more seconds. Yeah, I mean, good run. We learnt some things. Like, yeah, there's still things to iron out. I'm pretty confident this would work if it wasn't for running in Unity, but I'm afraid my optimization journey isn't over yet, sadly. But, you know. So yeah, if it's slowing down here, then there's something like fundamentally wrong. Whereas, yeah, it's the physics. It's all of that push there. So yeah, I am going to have to switch to a non-physics method, sadly. I know like this problem's already been solved. How do you handle like lots and lots of units moving? And yeah, you just kind of have to not use physics. From what I gathered, like I've seen conflicting stuff. Like I've seen that, I mean, Unity Engine is already pretty good at culling physics objects that aren't actually like anywhere near interacting with things. But I've also seen people just talk about making similar kinds of games and just the massive optimization gains that come from not using physics. So it'll be something to try. So, you know, do a backup, try it, and see how that works. So that should be a fun stream, seeing me switch from a physics-based movement to non-physics-based movement, and then trying to make it feel the same as it feels now, because I think it feels pretty good, or at least as good, like even if different. Okay, yeah, looking good. So we can, yeah, collect these beans. They're fun to have, even though this is all way out of balance at the moment. Yeah, all right. Yeah, and it might have just been like issues being caused by like every time we were trying to spawn something that there wasn't space for, like it sort of starts the code and then cancels it, and then we end up with like sort of a bit of a debt there. I think that's something that happens. Okay, but for now, I think I've done that big one, and yeah, I've already got like switch to non-physics method on my list, so it's nothing new to add to the list. It's just yeah, I'm pretty confident that when I get to that point in my to-do list, I am actually going to have to do it, rather than being like, optimization's fine, I don't need to touch it. It will run on my machine without issues, so it will run on anyone's machine. But no, I think. And like again, where the camera is and the size of the units, I don't need to have more units. I don't need thousands and thousands, but hundreds and hundreds would be nice. Just to have the whole thing run a lot smoother, and maybe even potentially one day get it working on a phone. Who knows? But we are going to carry on with what we came here to do today, which is to redraw the talents. So I'll actually use the same file, I think. So that's sprites root folder, because it's a sprite sheet. It's basically a folder, and we've got all of our talents here, and we need to redraw each and every one of them because they need to be at a higher resolution. So let's open another one, which is let's open weapons. So this is the old weapons file, because the new one, I think, yeah. So we can actually delete this, but we are looking at 96 by 96. So let's do 96. So yeah, we were like at a third of the resolution. And yeah, so all of these will need redrawing. Lovely, lovely stuff. I'll try and keep them in the same place at least, though. Although I'm going to have to redraw the sprite sheet anyway, so it would be a good time to have things in precisely the order that I want them. So I think I'll do that. So I will want to have talents. I think there was some rhyme or reason to how I ordered them before, but there we go. Upgrades, talents. Right near the top, and we get our nice sort of functions as a list of talents: armor, damage, rations, boots, special attack speed. So yeah, let's do it like that. So we'll start with armor. So we're working in Piscal, and we want to get to armor, bring it to the top, and we need to sort of draw this bit bigger, basically. Yay, drawing. I think that's much more of a morning thing, but yeah, I'll try and do as much as I can. So yeah, I'll be right back. Just going to go for a smoke. Right. Oh god, I'm not in the mood for drawing. Okay, so... But I have to get into the mood for drawing. Armor is probably one of my less favourite ones. Rations ought to look like rations from Metal Gear Solid. But armor, it's basically this scaled up, is it? Let me armor sprite. Just get some inspiration. Yeah, so like, I mean, it's funny because in this world they don't have bodies, so it'd be a bit weird to have armor. So maybe we just draw a helmet. I think I'm more comfortable with that. Let's see, and let's say if it was based on, even though all the characters can have it, let's base it loosely on the soldier's helmet. So like, yeah, we definitely want that sense of shoulders. So let's start by just clearing this, and let's get our black pen and get the shape down. So we have like the neck, and I think I'll use mirror tool. And then like shoulder pads. Okay. And then like that shape. And then like, I guess you could have some kind of belt, or you could just go like that. And then bit of perspective there. Just to give some shape to it. And yeah, I think that's about right. Maybe the shoulders could be bigger. Let's try that then. And we'll do a flip. Yeah, okay, like that's better. And let's get steal our colors from here. So what color is that? It's not on my palette. So let's just steal a little chunk then, and just pop it in here, and then I can use that. Okay. And then we get back to get our darker version, and I guess we would see it like that, and then sort of under the shoulder pad. And then where else would we see it? I guess like around here, nice and smooth for that sort of metallic feeling. Shading. How does shading work? Yeah, I guess the brightest point would be like here and here. So we sort of shade around that. Is that right? Or would it be harder? little bit more here. And then, like, is that fine? Is that just armor? Like, we're not trying to go crazy with this. Maybe we could afford to have another tone, but I think sticking to two-tone is good. And we don't want to, like, put any colors on it to give it a faction. And that's clearly armor. Okay, that could be better, I'm sure, but let's move on. So after armor, it's damage. So damage, I've kind of so far used this symbol of like a star, and I think I'll keep doing that. So I guess this is one of the more fun ones. We just have like a sort of natural looking star. Or maybe I should use the line tool. I don't think I want like a fully symmetrical star. I think I want... why buffering? I think because my wife's on the phone to her family. I'll have to ask her not to do that when I'm streaming. Is that alright? So before it looked like this. So it's like a red, and I guess red is the color of damage. So let's kind of continue with that, and I don't think it needs to be such a harsh red. What red is this? Okay, that's right in the corner, 25500. So we would want something a bit less aggressive. Damage, like, okay. Yeah, so the symbol of damage should be a star, I think. I mean, can look up some inspiration, so I'll just Google damage sprite, damage symbol. Yeah, it's usually some kind of explosion-y type thing. And so if we sort of took this and shaded it, I think it would actually be easier to just copy this. It would be easier to just shade everything. So I'll do a little maneuver. I'll take a completely off color, do that in that color, and then take my off red, do the whole thing like that, and then do the inside with this red, and then do this with this one, just because I've got all these little holes that I'd have to fill in manually. I guess not, there weren't that many. Okay, so that's looking like a natural, like, and then how do you really say damage? Like, is that enough, just the star? We could try again and just see how it feels doing it with the line tool, but just not, you know, still kind of keeping it slightly off kilter. No, that's actually worse. Yeah, I think that adds a nice touch. It just feels a bit empty without that, doesn't it? So yeah, let's just do a nice little bright star in the middle. Is that better? Oh god, we're just better off without it. This is kind of how the range will see it. Yeah, I think probably just the star is fine. We don't need that bit in the middle. And I'm going to move on because, although, of course, that could be a lot better. Yeah, best just to move on. So I'm going to text my wife because... Okay. So next up is rations, and I do like the Metal Gear Solid reference of having the rations look like modern military rations. So I'll kind of just do the same thing here, just bigger. So we take black cylinder, we'll use the cylinder tool, and we want to just use the whole space. And take this, copy. Oh, for God's sake. Take this, C, move down. That's because I'm pressing shift. Move down. Oh, what is going on? Control C, move down. Okay, yeah, and then we've got our little shape there. And then I might have. Okay, yeah, like this. Except I think because I wanna get the Metal Gear Solid 1 rations. It's that yellow stripe across that makes it. Okay, yeah. So yeah. Let's do this again. Just a bit more wide like that, and then take this, move it down, line tool. And what can we do? I mean, I think actually this part at the bottom is a bit thinner, so I'm just looking at these rations here. I mean, I don't know, like, medieval rations pack. Like if it just looked a bit more like food, like a bundle of food. So more like the sort of Yeah, like a sort of sack. Okay, yeah, that probably is a better direction to go in, especially now that I have higher level of detail. So we would have this kind of square. Except I would want it to be like, get that sense of the bundling. So it would kind of go in a little bit. So like tied up with a string. So we just got like a pillow basically with or would it just be like a sack? Lembas bread. So that's marked by the sort of cross on it. Oh yeah, with the little leaf wrapping it up. That's probably quite good. So we do like the leaf shape kind of wrapped up like that. Like some yummy bit of bread poking out. And then tied up. So let's colour this a bit just for visuals. Let's do some basic colouring. Just to start blocking it out. Come on. And then like some nice food colour, like, I'm so bad with colour. I'm looking at the colour, but yeah, I think that's close to. So this doesn't look like anything. This looks crap. But let's see how we get on. So we need that leaf to look like a leaf. So like, and then like the string with a bow. So let's just do that in a slightly off color in case I want to change the color. So like, yeah, kind of down here. And we do this going across. Maybe that's 2 lines thick, 2 pixels thick. Maybe like not perfectly straight, and then we do and I think already I would take this green and just because I just want to, I think the shading is killing it. So where would we see shading? We see a bit of shading under the leaf here. We see a bit of shading. I guess this could be the darker color. It's starting to look like something. We could do let's see if my wife getting off the phone. I fixed the stream. No, it didn't. So it's still got horrible upload speed. So I think that's an internet provider issue, perhaps. Okay, yeah, then we would see some shading here for sure, because this is where the bend is. The bend in the leaf. So we need to get that across. And then would we see like little bits of shading up here and here, I wonder? feel like we'd see a little bit here. See some under the... I mean, yeah, that feels pretty ration-y to me. Like some green thing with probably something edible inside, and yeah, I'm gonna, like, again, just in the interest of knowing my limits a bit and kind of just getting a first pass done, I'm gonna move on to the next one. So the next one is boots. Boots should look like boots. Are they still boots, or is it some kind of speed boost? Some kind of wing? No, I think it's boots. So we have our boot here. We can use the same colors, and essentially we're just kind of copying that, but bigger. So we have, let's just do our blacks first. So we have like the top of the boot, and at this resolution, it shouldn't necessarily be like a flat line at the top. So kind of coming in a bit, and I guess maybe sort of seeing inside the top of the boot a bit. And then we come in a bit here, and then out a bit there, and then straight a bit, and then out a bit. And then the heel, like a bit more straight. And then again, like these bodiless creatures wouldn't have boots, but again, I think because of the perspective, this shouldn't be quite such a straight line. Or like that. And then we can kind of do the sole. Not the sole, like the rubber of the boot should pretty much match the bottom of it, line for line almost, or at least, yeah, mostly match the shape there. Thicker at the back, and yeah, then we do. So let's just nudge this along a bit, and then we'll do like it's a boot, or is that a welly? I think it becomes a boot once we start adding to it a bit. Okay, so let's start blocking out the color. I was really proud of the first boot, that boot I did before, but it's like, yeah, it's not good enough now. Okay, and then we go back, I think, black for the laces. And the laces kind of end up looking like just kind of a black, a ribbon. I guess it would be kind of like, yeah, so if here is the line, here's where the lace is, and then so we go bow, ribbon falling off the other side there, and ribbon, line, rope, string, lace coming down here as well. And then I'm going to get me a picture of a boot. Okay. So yeah, then we've got these lines here, and I guess at this resolution we need it to be a bit more like, so yeah, we'll have this line. Let's just do that in a different color for now, even if it's mostly the same. So we've got like, yeah, let's undo the ribbon for now, undo the tie, the knot, and then yeah, we've actually got these two parts to boots. So it's like here where like, so up to like this bit. I'm so crap at drawing. And then yeah, if that kind of comes, is that right? So like we've got this coming up like that. With the laces going across there. See, I could just make it look weird by trying to be fancy. So yeah, we've got like, I'll copy this. We've got like the flap where sort of this bit comes out like this, and this bit kind of comes down like this. It's not even. And then so this would be, and then laces, let's use the same brown here just because why not. And then, but then we've got another bit, so I'm so crap at drawing, and then we've got another bit which would be like, oh, how would that be coming out? I'm so shit at drawing. Okay, so this, let's fill this in. Let's make this just a darker color just to start blocking it out. And so there'd be like this bit kind of actually coming above, and that is that. So then we've got our little holes in here. So how do we do those? And then so we would actually see a line here between the little bit that pops out, although it would be very thin, wouldn't it? Between the little bit that pops out and that bit, and then oof, I don't feel like this is going very well, but let's keep going. Let's see what we end up with, and we can always come back to it later. So then this would be going along with this and this and this and this and this one and this and this one and this and this one. And then the lace, the tie. I mean, would it even have that? You just kind of, or would it have like shoelaces there? I think that's probably fine, and we end up with this just kind of like, you can kind of tell that's a shoe. And I'm keen to, see, let's get this color, start shading it. Ooh. And yeah, get the shape of the roundness there. I feel like that's completely wrong. I'm not sure. And then just a little bit down here. Probably see some of this color here, and then what we might want to do is make those laces less dark. And we probably just want a lot more shading here in general, except at the top, so it would really kind of come in there. Looked less awkward before. Okay, and let's try with a lighter lace color. Yeah, it sort of looks good. And then I mean, shit, shoes. Thinking about how we've seen all these boots. I can't see where they put the laces, but I guess it can be anywhere. And then sometimes the laces go right up to the top, but not always. Although these little bits, I guess they kind of would. So would we have more of these? Maybe they're not all being used. And that just kind of looks like a sketchy mess of bits, but maybe that's fine. Maybe that does look like a shoe. Like, again, from this distance. And then what details am I missing? Like, we want to keep it simple, but maybe we would have a little bit of, I don't know, it starts to make it look too modern, but just, no, I think that's probably fine, actually. Again, I'll probably just move on, because, you know, in the spirit of kind of just getting this done. And then is the sole okay? Like, not the sole, what do you call the rubber bit below the sole? Don't know if this detail is what makes the difference, but yeah, just a bit of something there. And then I quite liked the metal. Yeah, this one had some shine to it, but we can have metal, like metal toe cap. I think that does help and it just draws attention away from my kind of crappy drawing of a shoe. So yeah, it's probably a good shout. And we'll take the same metal color, except what I might do is just to give this, just because it's a different texture, give this just extend this line out a bit. And I think that'll do. Okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna call that for now. So yeah, these are already looking a bit nicer than they did before. I mean, the main thing is just getting the resolution up. Don't know why my upload speed is so incredibly low. You see, might have to have a word with my internet supplier or just reset it before streaming maybe. Okay, so the next one would be, and I'll be happy if I get tier 1 done. Boots special chance. So at the moment, special chance I think looks like a collection of the items. I think it's actually way down here because it was one of the, yeah, it's this can of beans, bomb, so we could do something similar. Where we essentially, like, how do we say something is special chance? So I don't think I needed to do that. We've got this one for existing references. And we go sprites chest. Okay, and that would actually fit. Could be lazy and just put that. And then we can have like the bombs sticking out and stuff like that. Not sure what I'm doing there, but I mean, it could actually just be that. I guess we could have that with like the bomb. Can we get back our? Yeah, see, that's why I probably was on the correct layer before. So yeah, then we got a bomb. Be a bomb, a magnet. I think I should probably redraw the magnet as well. But yeah, bomb. yeah, I did want to change the magnet to be something that looks more like a magnet. And the can of beams needs to change completely as well. It should be more like a banner, like you're summoning units to yourself. Yeah, we can change that if we change the items. I just want to kind of get through this to begin with. See how it feels in the game. The boot's fine. Okay, next up is attack speed. And I quite like the idea of attack speed so far has been this kind of sword symbol. So maybe we actually like draw a sword. Let's get that angle like the same. With like, I guess, white streaks. So let's, yeah, think about color here. So yeah, I guess this would be, or we would use metal color. Let's use this for now. And then we've got like these, and you should never use full white, never go full white, always off white, same with black, and then we just get these like nice strokes. And should I do each of them one by one? I think I have to do each of them one by one for that organic feel. And the one at the top is longer, and then they get like a little bit shorter each time. This looks crap. Let's do double width lines. Let's move this down. Do Something like that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a bit basic. I don't know if it like I kind of have to accept that the art in this game isn't going to be amazing. But yeah, we go. This one, this one, this one. I like the new rations. Speed. Does that say attack speed? Does that scream out attack speed? Oh, maybe like a sort of bend to the blade there. I don't know. And yeah, the single color isn't good. So we'll use this, and then I wonder if we can get more out of it if these each had some sort of, I don't know. And it's kind of wonky now. I think that extension wasn't necessary. It didn't make it better. And it's just a simple shape to say attack speed. I'm going to move on to the next one. Can always come back. Attack speed, AoE. AoE, I think, is fairly straightforward. But again, it's sort of that finesse of drawing sometimes. So this is AoE. It is a circle with bits coming out. So we do something like a circle. Using the same color, yeah, so like a circle with kind of looks like an eye. Big old eyelashes. Should we do double lines here? More lines, otherwise it does look like some kind of amoeba or something. And I don't know if that feels like AoE anymore. It does at this resolution, but at this resolution. So this one has 7 tendrils coming out. I think that's a good number. Let's just do that again. So I'll do get some inspiration. AoE symbol. Seems to be fairly like fairly kind of standard, kind of accepted language for what an AoE looks like. So it's like a little circle with arrows pointing off. So yeah, let's do little circle, arrows, that's the same color. Good. Okay, and do we do some kind of, so if we went to layer 2, did a big old circle, and then just deleted. And then we've got our like AoE symbol. Yeah, I think that's more on point with what we had. Let's see if attack speed can, attack speed symbol. Yeah, it does tend to be that sort. Okay, so I think I can do this a bit more. So let's do this a bit more like symmetrical and by the number, you know. So we do like a sword, like 3 wide, that is exactly like that. And then straight lines. So we can't really get this wrong. Yeah, and I'm seeing that's fairly common. So now let's do this in a slightly different color. It should be the reverse. That looks a bit less exciting. No, I think this one's better. Worth a try. There might be other reasons it's not working, but attack speed, AoE. What's next? Range. Poison, crit rate. Okay, range. So far, range looks like spectacles. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. That's working so far. Bit of whiplash between like this and this, boots, attack speed, AoE, and ration. Like they kind of look a bit too different. Like one of them's like a picture of something and the other one's a symbol, more of a symbol, but I think that's fine. And then yeah, let's bring this up. Where do my spectacles go? Yeah, I think that's a good color with our off-white white. Oh no, that's full white. Okay, let's go slightly off-white. 245-ish. And do our shine. Maybe that's too big. So with a little handle on the side, I think I've done it too big. Maybe they can just be right on top of each other. No. Okay, let's do them a bit smaller then. Yeah, it's a good size. Okay. edges. Just be a bit more systematic about this. So go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll work, I think. So compared to that, yeah, it's just higher resolution. Yeah, I mean, all of these are subject to change if we feel that any of them aren't good enough. Next up is range, poison, crit rate. Okay. Poison is more fun because I just do a skull, or maybe I should do like a vial of poison. I think a vial of poison is probably better, or like a dagger with poison on it. Let's go with vial. So take a nice single line, I think. I'll do mirror tool for this. Let's get some inspiration. Poison vial. Here we've got the kind of glassy outline. So I guess we would take, let's just take this color for now. So that looks about right. And what we probably do actually is have yeah, let's get that blue for the bulk of it, and that white for the rest. And then our little green line for poison. We don't actually have a specific color for poison. Now I'm wondering if we should have a little perspective, so like this would come out a bit more. This would also have a bit of a shape to it. And we would need a slightly different green, I guess brighter at the top, so probably just making sure the colors are different, because then I can yeah, that looks a little bit better. And then this too we might actually sort of see the shape of that a bit. And what colour are bubbles? I guess they might just be this colour. Do we just skip the bubbles? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like is that like much worse than this? Poison. I think we're thinking about a deeper green. So like I don't know. I mean, I'm not very good at drawing. Okay, and then like bubbles. then maybe with like the skull and crossbones label. So I'll do that on another layer, so it would have a label like just color that in papyrus. That's basically going to be the same skull we had. Yeah, I think again I'm gonna move on. So that'll be poison, and then finally crit, and then I can. Okay, it's a bit early to finish, but crit. So crit is basically like this, but like reversed and yellow. So if we just kind of went like. And then did we have a universal? I don't think, yeah, we've got a universal color for crit, which is basically like hard yellow. So if we went, let's go 240, 240. And, you know, I mean, like, I'd love to get an artist to help me with this game. It's not really on the cards. Not really that friendly enough with an artist who has the time to make this happen. But yeah, crit basically is like, I think that's a good sort of visual language. I mean, again, if it can't, it's not going to be like impressive, but it can at least be clear, you know, like, you know, that like it will become obvious that this is damage. I mean, especially because it says, but this is clearly armor. This is clearly some kind of food ration. This is clearly a boot. Clearly something to do with getting items, right? Close, like, yeah, these are what they say they are. Fun, colourful. I mean, better than before, I think. Okay, so that would leave us with crit rate. So yeah, spiked armor, which can very much be this exact armor but with spikes in it. Lifesteal. Yeah, we've kind of got these. Yeah, I'm gonna try and do this because they don't take that long. And then yeah, Spark of Life, Rigor Mortis, Kaikum. I think I can carry on with the theme of like combining like doing the sword thing, but having like flames coming off or ice coming off, you know. And is that a good enough sword? I mean, it's very basic, but I think it sort of does the job. And we can always come back to these, but I just wanted to do a bit of a touch up just to at least bring them up to resolution. This is definitely an improvement. Is it as far as I can go? I mean, at this resolution, kind of probably. Like, I can't do much better than that with a skull with this amount of space. Right, it just kind of becomes finesse. Yeah. And yeah, skipping the ones that we don't have anymore, which is quite a lot. We're sort of in a good spot. And yeah, some of the fun ones are going to be space magic, time magic, chain. It's pretty straightforward. Plague would be like, I'm not sure about plague actually, if that's a good one or not. So what do we have on the list? Glow up talents, stop spawn pack routine. So yeah, how do I think there's like an easy way of doing that. So in enemy spawner, we have spawn pack, and then can we do so we do a yield return null. So they're kind of spawning, so there's not actually a there's not a wait 4 seconds, it's just wait till the end of the frame. So there's not really much way around that. So if you pause, like, enemies can still be spawning while you're paused. Oh yeah, we can just go. But this could that I don't know if this is expensive to do, but we go. So we draw Willy, and then gm.paused, and then it's false. And there's not really much use there. It's going to be useful here. Okay, so yeah, today would like to try and finish glowing up talents, and then visual effect for sacrifice. So yeah, more drawing, and then kind of animating and putting into the game. Banshee cry. Yeah, so some visual effects to do, ultimate effects. So yeah, a fair bit of that. I am quite keen. I think I'm kind of burnt out on drawing for now, so what I'll do is I want to investigate this. So, death. So character container. It's this death sound effect. It just plays like all over the place on death. Death audio source. And then we should be saying death audio source dot stop. So is it possible that and then so on spawn this effect's got get spawn clip. I don't want to do this getter thing. Yeah, I don't want to do this get thing. I think this is fiddly. This is how the AI did it, but when I was trying to vibe code, but I don't think that works. I just want public. So we'll just go this and turn it to public. And I'm going to have to reassign those, and that'll help me. Yes, sfx dot c dot level up clip. Spawn clip. Bounce clip. There's no way that's all the errors. No way. No. There's definitely going to be more errors than that, surely. Maybe not. Really? Okay. So yeah, we will want to go into GM, so scenes, main. Is it somewhere else? Squish 2, okay, so this is, I should start naming these. Again. Okay, so let's get rid of take damage standard because we wouldn't need both. Yeah, so at the start of this, I like attempted vibe coding just to see how it would go. And my advice is try it, I think, because it's important to understand these things. But it's not, I definitely like doing that. I definitely lost time doing it this way. But I don't regret trying it. I mean, there's some things you can vibe code, but you know, the main use of AI is just when you Google something, now Gemini is a bit better at answering than having to scroll through like a bunch of forum stuff like that. I'm going to go for a smoke, be right back, and then we will try to... Yeah, I'm going to fix this sound effects thing, get this right, and try and fix the death sound effect bug because it's really annoying. So, be right back. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of all these silly comments. Come on. It's not too much. Because I have to find the sound that I was using for the death sound and name it properly this time so I don't lose it again. Was it that? That's the one. Death 1. No, Death 2. So let's call that die. I'll just keep the names the same, and if I change them, I'll change them at both ends. Spawn clip. Should be some kind of like whoosh, right? I think that works. Ready. Not sure if I'm even using that or the ultimate one. think each one should have their own. Okay, and so with that should be XP clip. But isn't that just item gain? Yeah, so that's not used anywhere else. Don't need these headers. Probably should have like found a way to keep these before I deleted the connection. Okay, let's see. Let's kind of see how it goes, because I'm not even sure there was one playing. Yeah, level up clip. What was it? I could look into old backup and get it, but oh hey. Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is Warbeans. So it's like Vampire Survivors, but in addition to having a weapon and like a talent or armor, you can summon units to fight alongside you, and they spawn in the same way that enemies would spawn in a Survivor game, but they fight for you. And yeah, I've been making games for about 9 years now. Worked a bit at Jagex as a game designer. Otherwise just making my own games, and this is my latest one. That's my first real attempt at a game in a long time, since my second game really. And yeah, thanks so much for joining. I think, yeah, I need to, and right now I've just been really silly and lost the sound that I had used for leveling up. So for now I'm just gonna like leave it, and then I'll kind of know what sound I'm looking for. And yeah, I just had this weird bug where it felt like the sound effect for a character dying was playing whenever something spawned as well. And I don't know if that's because it's like a hangover of you play the death sound and then object turns off, but the sound effect hadn't finished playing, so it starts again, or if I just assigned the wrong sound somewhere. So yeah, we'll see. Last time I turned the sound effects volume down, but yeah. Oh, did that not take? Or is it just my headphones are really low? And who should I play as? Let's just do random. I don't want to play as the demons. Let's play as... Yeah, let's just play as Sean on the ramparts again. Do we have... Oh, we have... I haven't played in the bridge in a while because it's like not unlocked in this build. And I would do like play from a build, but first I just want to test that this sound effect thing has worked. Okay, yeah, so it is playing the sound effect, the death sound effect when something comes back, which is weird because I actually tell it to stop. So what's that all about? So just double checking, and that's even if that's even though I've told it to stop, and that's even if it's not like a recycled one. Maybe it is a recycled one. I don't know why the loot goblins spawn in then. I thought I turned that off. So we go enemy spawner. Oh yeah, indeed, we are asking for a loot goblin to spawn there. And yeah, it seems that that death animation is playing when a unit spawns, which is just really annoying. Like, why would you do that? Yeah, so it's that sound is playing anytime a unit spawns, presumably because it's been switched off, and then as it comes back on, it plays the last sound it was playing. I have a thought. Oh, I think I know what's happening. So we'll get our... then our death audio. Play on awake, that's it. That's it. Silly mistake. Why do we not have ramparts? Okay, ramparts. That's really weird. I'm sure there's some reason behind it. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to play from a build. Let me first just make sure that this depth and audio, although I'm pretty confident it will have. I guess the only thing I could anticipate is it might not be playing it when it should, but this should never take this long. Don't know why this is suddenly taking a while. Very bizarre. Okay, let's see how we do with this. Shouldn't be taking this long. I think my computer might be overheating a little bit, which is natural because it's 30 degrees outside. Yeah, let's be Cruel versus the Black Beans. That sounds fun. On the ramparts. See how that goes. Yeah, now's my upload speed now. But still in the toilet. Damn. Okay, yeah, so we can go for electric build. It's probably a good one to pick if you get it early. Okay, lovely. We finally dealt with that horrible death sound animation bug. And we can probably optimize a little bit there with, but yeah, anyway, so we want the zapper for sure. And yeah, so far so good. Okay, yeah, we would want poison because we would want to get our everyone has lightning, spark of life. We want that. Very nice. Yeah, let's work with what we have. Maybe I should get chain heal. Since it goes with the axe as well. Some bats. Oh, the bats don't have wings? That should have been an easy one. Gonna want the scimitar. That's just insider knowledge. Oh, hold on. We're poisoning ourselves. That wasn't like that before. Okay, so chain heal. Huh. So why is chain heal? Okay, so that's in do AoE, so add debuffs. And we go so target shooter, yeah, so we go chain weapons, so weapon container. So first of all, quick one is projectile, add debuffs, if weapon.friendly is false, and then let me guess, chain attack, add debuffs, yeah, if is false. Okay, that's going to be a bit weird, but I'll just ride with it.